In the peaceful town of Ibadan, the hum of morning life began to soften as preparations for the most anticipated wedding of the year took center stage. The wedding was between Ayo, a respected businessman's son, and Tolu, a beloved teacher. But amidst the joy, a rift threatened the celebration's harmony. At the heart of the discord was Kehinde, a successful fashion designer. She had meticulously planned the couple's attire, going above and beyond to source the finest fabric from Lagos. As she inspected the intricate beadwork on the wedding dress, a shadow of doubt crossed her mind. Something felt off about the way she hadn't been involved in the final rehearsal. Kehinde arrived at her sister, Aisha's compound, face set with determination. A familiar scent of jollof rice wafted through the air, mingling with the laughter of children playing. "Aisha," Kehinde called out, "I hear they are finalizing the seating arrangements without me." "Kehinde, you know it's nothing," Aisha replied, stirring a bubbling pot. "Maybe it was just an oversight." Kehinde frowned, sensing something deeper. "Oversight? After everything I've done for that family?" Her voice held an edge of disbelief. Kehinde's worst suspicions were confirmed later that day, when she overheard a conversation between two of Tolu's bridesmaids. "I heard they don't want her at the wedding," one said. "Apparently, the family thinks she's too controlling, always trying to outshine everyone." Kehinde felt a rush of betrayal. She had poured her heart into making the wedding perfect, only to be slighted now. She walked briskly back to her small boutique, anger welling up inside her. Her assistant, Sade, looked up, concerned. "Ah, Kehinde, what happened?" "They've decided to cut me out, like I am nothing," Kehinde said, leaning heavily on the counter. "After everything, they won't even let me attend, Sade. Imagine!" Sade shook her head. "After all the help you gave, it's not right." That night, Kehinde sat alone, replaying moments of unappreciation and warnings from friends. She not only supported the wedding financially, but had also been a confidant to Tolu, sharing secrets over bubbling pots of amala. Now, she was sidelined. The injustice boiled in her veins. The following day, Kehinde's mind raced with plots of revenge as she stitched a lace gel for the bride's mother. Her hands moved skillfully, yet her heart was torn. She thought of how to make them realize what they had done, how to make them feel her absence. As the weeks went by, Kehinde learned the wedding preparations were in disarray. Without her guidance, several vendors withdrew. The stress and whispers of mismanagement spread throughout the community. "A wedding is not a one-man show," Kehinde murmured to herself. Then the final straw came. Kehinde received a message on her phone. It was a photo of the wedding invitation. Her name was missing from the guest list. Eyes stinging, she called Aisha. "They really didn't include me," she breathed, a mix of pain and anger. "Ah, Kehinde," Aisha sighed. "Their audacity. What will you do?" Kehinde was silent for a moment before speaking. "There's no point crying over spilled milk," she replied. "Let them have their wedding, but they'll remember my absence when their seams start to unravel." On the wedding day, fireworks erupted in the sky, vibrant and loud, yet a touch bittersweet for Kehinde. She watched from the window of her shop as young guests paraded towards the event venue. She could imagine the panic inside without her expertise to guide proceedings. But revenge was not her style, or at least not until they would see who had made the wedding possible. With a deep breath, she turned away from the window, refusing to let their betrayal ruin her spirit. Yet deep down, a plan was taking shape. That evening, as guests danced and celebrated, an unexpected announcement gripped the room. "Before we proceed," the MC said, "a word of gratitude to the one whose generosity made all of this possible." The room buzzed with speculation. Kehinde, poised to watch the unfolding drama, knew what they were about to discover. As the MC's words hung in the air, murmurs of speculation filled the room. Kehinde stood near the entrance, her heart pounding as eyes turned in her direction. Yet, before anything could be said, Tolu's father, Chief Balogan, rose to his feet. "It seems we owe a great debt of gratitude," he spoke, his voice carrying over the sea of confused faces. "Kehinde, wherever you are, let us acknowledge your unparalleled generosity." Kehinde's chest tightened with a mix of triumph and lingering bitterness. A visible shift rippled across the gathering as realization dawned. She had been the invisible hand, the cornerstone without whom this celebration would not have been as spectacular. But instead of jubilation, Kehinde felt a hollow ache. The admiration of strangers paled against the stark absence of the family's appreciation, the ones she had considered her own. Aisha sidled up to her, whispering, "Kahinda, they now see your worth. Isn't this what you wanted?" Kahinda's eyes glistened with unshed tears. "Is this what I wanted?" she murmured, eyes drifting over the crowd, searching for Tolu's gaze. But as the bride stood, applause enveloping her, she seemed more overwhelmed by appearances than genuinely moved by the revelation. As the night stretched on, guests attempted to bridge the gap between Kahinda and the family. Tolu approached, her face a mask of contrition. "Sister Kahinda, I didn't know. I'm sorry," she began, but her apology seemed canned, as though rehearsed for decorum's sake. Kahinda shook her head, her disappointment swallowing the hollow victory. "Words come cheap, Tolu. You insulted the very foundation of this day," she replied, the raw edge of betrayal sharpening her voice. The exchange drew the attention of onlookers. Tolu's eyes flickered with embarrassment, yet a stubbornness lingered. It was not enough to unravel the pride, nor the wall between them. Kahinda turned away, feeling the weight of the evening press heavily on her spirit. Outside the venue, the evening air cooled her heated cheeks, but inside, anger simmered. Was this all worth it? She whispered into the night, feeling adrift. Yet another figure stepped out, an elder pastor known for his quiet wisdom, Pastor Adetunji. He approached Kahinda with a gentle nod, his presence calming like the sound of distant drums after a storm. "My daughter," he began, "revenge is like drinking poison and waiting for your enemy to die." Kahinda stiffened, her defences immediately rising. "Pastor, they wronged me. I only wanted to show them." He gently raised a hand. "I understand your hurt, Kahinda, but the satisfaction it brings is fleeting. Bitterness eats our heart till it's hollow. Remember, God sees deeper than we do. Christ forgave even the undeserving." His words resonated with surprising force, cutting through her practiced defiance. "But what do I do then?" she asked, voice quivering. "Pray. Forgive." Pastor Adetunji turned his gaze to the sky. "Allow God's grace to mend what we cannot, even the deepest hurts." As layers of tension fell from Kahinda, she felt exposed. Tears traced familiar paths down her cheeks, representing the swirling storm of emotions within. She realized then that this path of revenge, while seemingly powerful, left her empty and isolated. Reflecting on Pastor Adetunji's words, Kahinda returned inside, wariness replaced with a burgeoning sense of determination. Her heart battled the lingering resentment, but a quiet strength started to root, the idea of forgiveness as liberation, not defeat. She moved toward Tolu, the act itself a struggle with her pride. "We have much to discuss," Kahinda said, her tone softened. Tolu, taken aback, nodded slightly, hope flickering in her eyes. In the quiet corner, Kahinda and Tolu faced each other. "I helped not for gratitude, but for this family. I felt it was home, yet you pushed me out," Kahinda admitted, an emotional heaviness in her words. Tolu looked down, humbled. "I thought," she began, her voice small, "showing our independence was important, but I see now I was wrong." Kahinda sighed, feeling the brittle edges of pride give way, replaced by a tentative offering of peace. "I forgive you. We were all caught in our own storms," she said, new clarity and resolve in her voice. "Then let's rebuild," Tolu suggested quietly, eyes sincere, the earlier facades replaced with earnest vulnerability. The two women shared a tentative embrace, echoing the deeper understanding Kahinda found within herself. As they pulled apart, a shared glance spoke more than words, an unspoken agreement to begin anew, guided not by pride but by love and faith. The night wound down, and Kahinda lingered in the now quietened hall, a peace settling deep within. She spotted Pastor Adetunji again and approached. "Thank you, Pastor," she said, genuine gratitude in her voice. "No thanks needed, Kahinda. Only continue seeking God's peace. Let his love repair what was injured." As she left, a profound relief accompanied her steps. Kahinda knew scars from the betrayal would linger, but they no longer defined her path. Each step toward the future was a testament that revenge had not conquered her. Instead, Forgiveness had freed her. Back at her small shop, Kahinda sat with her Bible, its worn pages comforting like an old friend. She opened to a bookmarked page. Colossians 3:13, she whispered, tracing the verse. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. Her resolve strengthened, she bowed her head in prayer. Father, guide me. In my weakness you remain my strength. Help me love, even when it feels impossible. As she moved around to tidy the shop, a soft harmony enveloped her. The wedding's lesson lingered. True healing comes not from hurt's retaliation, but from grace's redemption, a truth carried reverently into each day's new dawn.
Thank you so much for listening to this intriguing story. I hope it touched you or taught you something. For more stories like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the page. And guys, if you'd like to see a part 2, or you have thoughts on what happened, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. See you in the next story.